Okay guys, good morning. This is Mr. Dan San Ordinario. I'll be your instructor for Earth Science. Ito yung ating book from Bibal. So this is Earth Science. Ay, bakit yun yung una? So, ito pala yung ating, yan, so Earth Science. So this is our course subject, Earth Science. So, I believe this is for grade 11 STEM ng Brooks Point Christian High School. Yeah. So, kaya kami nilagay na kami ganun. So, anyway, we're going to tackle lesson 1, the origin and structure of the Earth. Masyadong masilo at ito. The origin and structure of the Earth. So, if you're looking at your screen, there are 3 layers na discuss natin. Sa Earth has 3 layers. So the crust, the mantle, and the core. Well, actually, it's 4 layers kasi nga yung core merong 2 layers. The inner core and the outer core. So if you have your books with you, so I believe you already have your books with you. Yan na ba sila books mo? Yeah. I'll check it out na lang. So kung meron na kayong books. So if you have your books with you, we're going to open it on page 2. Yan. You know. So kung hindi pa kayo nakabili ng books, bili na kayo sa akin. Mura lang ito. Joke. Origin and structure of the Earth. So, the Earth has 3 layers, the crust, mantle, and core. The crust is the planet's thin and rocky outer skin, comprising of 82% of the Earth's total volume. Yan. So basically, the Earth ay meron daw 3, pero nga sabi ko kanina, meron 4 yan kasi may inner tsaka outer core. Pero let's talk about first the crust. The crust is the planet's thin and rocky outer skin. So, let us put it this way. If the Earth is the egg, as an example, Earth, miniature Earth yung egg, so meron siyang shell. So the shell would be the crust. Ito yung thin layer. Kaya nga kapag kakain tayo ng pizza, may crust. Yun yung thin layer doon. Ang tawag doon, crust. Tama. Crust. So, yung mantle naman, it's not the mantle of your table, of course. It's not the, ang tawag doon? Yung, yeah, ito. So, the mantle, it's not the checkered clothing of the table, huh? The mantle is comprising more than 82% of the Earth's total volume. It extends deeper than the crust and is the thickest layer of the planet. Mali man yung aking typerist. Typographical error to si Ma'am Jess. Type eh. Ay, naku si Ma'am Jess. So, the mantle on the egg layer, kung ihalin tulad natin yung Earth, as an egg. The crust is the shell. The mantle part is the egg white, okay? Or the albumin, okay? Take note of the word, huh? The egg white, not the egg yolk. The egg yolk is the yellow part of the egg. Sa Tagalog ng yellow, pula, okay? Di ba pulang part ng itlog? O, sabi naman matatanda. Di ba, Ma'am Nurse? Talaga si Ma'am Nurse. So yung sabi kasi naman matatanda, yung pula ng itlog, which is dilaw naman, di ba? Pag nakakita ka ng baka na brown, tawag nila pula. Tapos nakakita nila sugar na brown, pula. Gulo nila, no? So the point is, if we're going to compare or to, anong tawag doon? Ihalintulad yung Earth sa egg. So the mantle is equivalent to the albumin or the egg white, okay? And the core is the yellow part of the egg or the egg yolk. Yun, okay? So the core is the deepest and hottest part of the Earth. It is composed of iron and nickel. So totoo ba na ang impyerno nasa ilalim ng lupa? Yes! Joke. No. Kasi nga, nasa ilalim ng lupa ay merong core. Mainit yan actually. So meron na bang nakatry mag-dig deep papunta sa impyerno or dun sa core kasi nga napakainit nito? Wala pa, no? Kasi nga yung crust part ng Earth, kahit thin layer lang ito, it comprises of 54 kilometers. Okay, parang dito papuntang Ano ba pulot? Siguro Nara, ano? Brooks Point to Nara, ganyang kalalim yung huhukayin mo para mabutas mo yung crust ng Earth. Okay, that's 54 kilometers if I'm not mistaken. So, basically, sinasabi nila na thin ito, pero hindi siya thin. Ano? Makapal ito. The mantle, it is composed of thick layer. Pero yung thick layer na ito, hindi siya solid. Ito ay medyo parang liquid part or the magma and the lava part of the Earth, ano? Dito. So let's put it this way, ano? The Earth's crust is sitting or floating on the mantle part of the Earth. Okay? Para tayong styrofoam na nakalutang sa tubig, dagat, or sa, sa tubig. So, kaya, yung crust na ito ay binubuo ng mga tectonic plates. So, tectonic plates, kapag nagbungguan yan, di ba, nagkakaroon ng, ang tawag natin doon, paglindol, ano? So, kapag naglindol, yung dulo ng tectonic plates na ito yung mga fault lines. So, paano daw nabubuo yung mountains? Well, biblical speaking, sabi ng Panginoon, let there be mountains, and there was mountains. Ganun. Pero, sabi naman ng science, nagbabanggaan itong mga tectonic plates na ito. At kapag nagbanggaan, it will form a structure of a mountain. So, nabubunggo, nagkaroon ng humps. And then, my humps. Meron ng karong humps. Parang gano'n. Yun. So, pag nagbungguan yung mga tectonic plates, nagkakaroon ng lumps pa gano'n. So, mountains are being formed. Yeah. Just like that. Ngayon, paano naglilindol na parang yung isang block ng bansa ay bigla lang magkakaroon ng pagyanig, napakatigas ng lupa? Well, actually, kagaya ng sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, it is actually sitting on the liquid part of the earth, which is the mantle. Diyan yung medyo, hindi naman siya pure liquid, pero liquid-like. Okay? So, kapag nagkaroon ng wave doon, from the core, the deepest and hottest part of the earth, it is composed of iron and nickel. Kapag sobrang hot nito, tapos lalabas ito sa maliliit na pressure points ng earth. So, yun na yung mga volcano. Yan, yung mga volcano. So, kapag nalabas yung pressure na yun, yung mga plates na ito ay magkakaroon ng seismic movements. Yun. Kaya nagkakaroon ng tawag doon, Jessa? Kakaroon ng volcanic eruption and earthquake. That's the term, earthquake. Yeah. So if you're looking at your page 2, geology is the study of the earth. When we say geo, it's the study of the earth. Geo means earth. Kagaya ng diniscuss ko sa Humes kanina. Wow, kanina. So, geocentric meaning the earth is the center of the universe. Pero it's not the right thing, ano? The right thing is heliocentric, which is the sun is the center of the solar system. Okay? It's not the center of the earth, no? Kasi nga marami tayong Anyway, let us proceed to your book. Our planet is remarkably special and unique. It is by far the only one we know that is able to support life. Kaya nga tawag nila dyan, that's the blue marble, The blue marble. Kasi nga, ito lang yung planet na can sustain life. Bakit ito lang yung planet na mag-sustain life? Because it has the presence of elements that we need to sustain life. And what are those? Ano ba yung mga elements na needed to sustain life? Of course, oxygen. Oxygen is one of the important things to consider if you want to sustain life. Kasi nga, humans and animals, or the animal kingdom, together with humans, of course, does need oxygen as part of our breathing process. Now, another thing to consider if you want to sustain life is the presence of plants. They are the ones converting sunlight's energy into usable form of energy, and thus we can use it and extract energy from the plants itself. So, photosynthesis is one of the important processes that happens in our lifetime. Bakit siya important? lahat ng energy na kinukuha natin is coming from the sun. And the sun is a star. A star, one of the stars in our galaxy and one of the billions of stars in the universe, you know. Every star that you see at night has its own planetary system. May mga planet siya doon sa paligid niya. So yung ating star na malapit sa atin, the closest star sa ating Earth ay ang Sun. So don't get me wrong, Sun is not the biggest star, but it's just one of the billions stars that is floating in the galaxy. So proceed tayo. The universe and the solar system. Have you looked at how many stars out there in the sky? Or perhaps ever wondered how the stars are made? In this chapter, you will understand how some theories explain the origin of the universe, everything else in it, including us. So, we have always been fascinated with the things are made, like how, but far more than explaining the process and materials involved in each question that we have. We would eventually end up in the question, what brought about all matter that we have now? Okay, speaking of matter, sabi ko kanina, matter is anything that occupies space. So, anything that occupies space and has mass, it's an example of matter. So, matter and energy are two different entities. You know? So, they are similar somehow, and they are interconnected somehow, but they are different. So, first difference, spelling. Okay. So, yung ating ibang differences nila, like for example, matter produces energy. Okay? Matter has these tiny particles like atom. When atoms fuse together, they produce energy. Like for example, a fusion of tiny atoms to produce energy. So, saan ba yung pinagmulan daw ng mga bagay-bagay nito? And those elements that we need to know. Diba? Sa periodic table natin, makikita natin. Sa aking subject na in-upload kanina, it's on the physical science. Okay. Sa Humes ito. Yan. Physical science. Sa physical science, we discussed about the origin of the elements. Ngayon, we were discussing the same thing, ano? What theory supports this beginning or the genesis? A theory is a system of ideas, ano? What do we mean by the theory? Theory is an educated guess. An educated guess. It's not just an educated guess or an educated opinion. It is a system of ideas that tries to provide us with an explanation or an educated guess on how things came to be. A theory may either be proven to be true or false based on facts and pieces of evidences that can subsequently be found. Yan. Pinahaba na ng sinabi ko eh. Anyway, so anong theory na kailangan natin i-discuss dito? The Big Bang Theory. Okay? What is the Big Bang Theory? Sabi ng mga scientists, because they are trying to figure out paano nagsimula ang life on our blue planet. Okay. The Big Bang Theory, according to the Big Bang Theory, the universe was formed approximately how many billion years? 13 billion years ago. From a cataclysmic expansion which hurled all matter and created space. Wow, may space na daw no afternoon. Okay? So thus the cosmic expansion, however, is different from a typical explosion or bang, because both matter and space were created simultaneously. As a consequence of this event, the first subatomic particles, example protons, neutrons, and electrons, were formed. Okay? Lahat ng bagay ay kinocompose ng atom. Kaya nga kapag ang mga scientists nagbibiroan, they are trying to have this joke na do not trust atoms because they are making up everything. They make up everything. So even living things and non-living things are composed of atoms. This is the tiny particle of a substance. Pero, meron pa bang mas maliit sa atom? Okay, yan tinatawag natin subatomic particles. And what are those subatomic particles? Those are protons, neutrons, and electrons. So yun yung basic na tatlong subatomic particles. But you cannot broken them down into smaller pieces anymore. Okay? Pero meron pa rin silang ginagawang atom smasher. So, yeah. Gulo ng science kasi daming alam eh. So, binabago-bago nila. So, ngayon, ang discovery nila ay hanggang dito. But later on, if they discover something else, it will be a new development. Anyway, so as of today, the Big Bang Theory, 13.7 billion years ago, nagkaroon daw ng life on Earth based on the scientists' discovery ay from the theory of the Big Bang. Seconds after the Big Bang, sumabog, ganun. Pagsabog sa sobrang heat, sobrang init ng pagsabog na yun, atoms are formed, or subatomic particles are formed. The protons, the neutrons, and the electrons. Now, what is the explanation? How does these subatomic particles were formed? Paano ba na-form itong mga subatomic particles? That we do not know yet. Okay. So, as a consequence, ito na yung nangyari. Cooling of these debris allow the formation of the simplest atom, the first element. Okay, 1 second after the Big Bang, after the Big Bang, ano nangyari? Ito daw ang unang-unang element na na-form. Guess what? That's the most abundant element in the universe, the hydrogen. Is it a liquid? Is it a gas? Or is it a solid? Of course, it's a gas. Okay? So that's the first that's the first element in our periodic table. And what is the atomic number? Yeah, you got it right. Number 1. Right? So that's number 1. In our periodic table, hydrogen, sama ba? Hydrogen gas. Hydrogen is number 1 in subatomic particle. Yeah. And number 2 is the helium. Okay? Ito yung most abundant. Number 2 abundant gas in the present in the sun is the helium. So helium is ito yung ginagamit nating gas doon sa pa nagpapalobo tayo ng mga balloons tapos lumilipad, that helium gas or oxygen gas. Kasi lumulutang sila. Kapag carbon dioxide ang binuga mo doon sa balloon, bababa yun kasi mabigat yung carbon dioxide. Pero pag helium, magaan. So, lulutang siya. Okay? Or oxygen. Okay, guys? Ilang minuto na tayo, guys? Ang daldal ko. Number 1 pa lang tayo. Sige. Go na tayo sa Big Bang Theory. Yan. The universe and the solar system, the Big Bang Theory. So, ito yung mga nangyari dito sa Big Bang. So, seconds after, may mga nangyari. And ang unang-unang na-create na element, yun na nga, ay hydrogen. Okay? Hydrogen is the most abundant gas in the universe, or the most abundant element. Number 2, helium. And number 3, or the other parts are yun na yung other elements. And eventually, na-create na yung mga mas mabibigat or heavier elements. Okay? Like carbon, like iron, yan. Anyway. So, big crunch here. The universe and the solar system. Okay, remember guys, when we say solar system, it's just a single star surrounded by different planets. Okay? So, one solar system is one star together with different planets surrounding it. Okay? So, ang pangalan ng ating star ay Sun. Okay, so the Big Bang Theory. After doon nagsabog itong pagbang na to ng Big Bang, nag-cool down ito. Ang cool down niya, sobrang init pa rin yun. Pero cool down na yun. Kapag nag-cool down na daw siya, meron na namang mga new elements na mapoform. Wow, ang galing maggawa ng kwento ng Big Bang Theory. The Milky Way Galaxy, as seen from Earth's night sky, each star is the galaxy is formed from rotating cloud of gas and dust. The Milky Way Galaxy is just one of many galaxies present in the universe now. Have you ever wondered how everything in this universe was made? Yan ang tanong, okay? That's a good question, How does the universe or how everything in this universe was made. Paano ba nagawa ito, ano? Well, the simplest and the most effective way on understanding it, read the Bible. Diba? Neng? Oh.
Yeah.
Read the Bible instead. Bakit pa natin ito kailangan? Well, we need to go through a lot of science things, you know? Well, it's good to know. It's good to know. But on our belief system, if you want it to be, you know, easier and more concise, you know, and then read the Bible. In the beginning, sabi ng Panginoon, hindi ko na alam. Sabi pa in the beginning, madilim daw mundo. Sabi niya, let there be light, and there is light. Nagkaroon ng, baka yun na yung Big Bang, ano? Baka yun na rin, ano? Pero ito lang yung slow process ng pag-understand ng Big Bang Theory. Anyway, so tayo, solar system natin, mas malaki tayo ay member ng anong grupo ng Milky Way Galaxy. Sa isang galaxy, napakaraming star system, solar systems. Maraming stars at meron silang planetary system. Tapos, yung Milky Way Galaxy natin ay isa lang rin sa billions of galaxies din sa ating universe. How about another question? Are there other universes? Wow. So we call that a multiverse. So kapag mas marami na ito at nag-join tayo together, that's multiverse. That's why the scientists are looking for other places. Maybe somehow, someday, they can discover other life on other planets. So yun yung hinahanap nila. Anyway, so proceed tayo. Okay, the solar nebula hypothesis, the birth of a star. So nabubuhay pala itong star, sir. Yun yung tanong nyo. Oh, yes. Okay. There is a birth of a star. Namamatay ba yung star? Of course. Namamatay. Sabi nga, nabuhay. Hindi namatay. Meron din siyang kamatayan. Okay? The solar nebula hypothesis. When we say hypothesis naman, it's an educated guess din, ano? Hypothesis. So, check natin dito sa paring Google. Ano daw ang meaning ng hypothesis? Hypothesis. Meaning. Okay, sabi dito, a supposition or proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidences as a starting point for further investigation. Yan. Supposing. So, sa tingin mo, paano nag-start ang universe? Siguro merong sumabog. Yan ang proposition mo. That is your hypothesis. A solar nebula hypothesis. When we say nebula, guys, okay, nebula. Yan. Okay, check natin ha. A nebula is a giant cloud of dust and gas in space. Some nebulae, or more than one nebula, come from the gas and dust thrown out by the explosion of dying star, such as a supernova. Other nebula are regions where new stars are beginning to form. Yan, yung nebula. So, ibig sabihin, yung nebula, merong clouds of dust na nagpo-form. Parang merong sandstorm or merong storm na nangyayari sa outer space. Kapag nagkumpul-kumpul na ito at nagkaroon na ng friction itong mga clouds of dust na ito, ano mangyayari ulit? Magkakaroon ng pagsabog or what we call the supernova. Okay? When we say supernova, okay, possible, supernova. Check natin dito para ano tayo? Supernova. Supernova meaning. Yeah, supernova is a large explosion. Okay, just what I thought. Kung ano yung supernova. Supernova is a large explosion that takes place at the end of the star's life cycle. Okay? Kapag yung star ay mamamatay na, sasabog yun. Kapag sumabog yun, hahanap na naman siya ng ibang stars na may dust together para magkumpul-kumpul sila at magkaroon ng storm. Pag nagkaroon ng storm, sasabog yung magkakaroon na naman ng panibagong star. That's why they call it the nebula. Or nebula is what we call the birth of a star. Okay, meron mga different nebula. Yan. Oops. Saan ba tayo? Yan. So, different stages of formation of a star and a solar system. A cloud of gas and dust and remnants of the Big Bang. Enough mass gravitational force made cloud rotate and concentrate in mass center. Continued rotation of along an axis and gravity concentrates most of the cloud's mass toward in the center, forming the star. And after as much as debris of dust has been cleared out, planets and asteroids are left revolving around the central star. So kapag nagkaroon ng supernova, namatay na isang star, tapos magkakaroon ng pagsabog, it's a supernova. Tapos yung kanilang dust, magkukumpul-kumpul yun ulit. Hahanap ng masicirculate. Ngayon, when this dust clump together, it will form another star. Okay? And the other dusts, pag sinabi natin dust, hindi ito maliit na dust, ano? It's like building dust. Oh, malalaking chunks of rocks. And, parts of a dying star, of a dead star. Okay, keep in mind that when we say star, it is equivalent to a sun. Okay? Na sumabog, na namatay. Paano nangyaring namatay yung isang star? Well, later, we'll discuss, paano nangyari namatay ang isang star. So, check natin. Dito tayo sa ating book. If you're looking at your book, The Big Bang Theory, dito tayo. Yeah, although the Big Bang Theory now presents the most popular rationale of thinking how the universe came to be, several other theories came before in which were also deemed as scientific discoveries. Okay, marami daw theories, Pero, the Big Bang Theory is the closest among all those theories. Okay? The universe that would be created from this theory would mean that infinity is possible and that there is no beginning or ending of the universe. This has already been refuted in the mid-1960s. So if you're playing something like Dota or Mobile Legends or COC, 'di ba parang may part doon na madilim, tapos naglalaro. Hindi ako naglalaro. So, halimbawa, may part doon na madilim, tapos pupunta ka doon, pupunta yung character mo doon, si Nana. Sun King. Papunta doon sa may madilim na part. Tapos yung madilim na part na yung lumiliwanag. Every time na pumupunta ka doon sa mas madilim na part, lumiliwanag, ibig sabihin, the space is very spacious. Okay? When we say space, it's unending. Okay? If you go through the universe, outer space, walang limit yung pag-alis mo dun, yung pag-travel mo dun. That's why they are measuring the distance at the speed of light. You are not just measuring it meters, kilometers. We are measuring it by time. Like for example, what is the speed of light? The speed of light is 300,000 kilometers per second. So, ibig sabihin, when you say 1 light second, what is the distance of it? And the 300,000 kilometers. How about 2 seconds na nag-travel ka sa speed of light? And the 600,000 tama? 600,000 kilometers na yung na-travel mo kung 2 seconds ka nang nagbibiyahe at the speed of light. So how about 1 light year? Wow! What a kind of a distance. Diba? That's enormous. That's colossal. Diba? When you say colossal, it's very colossal. Huge. Diba? Ang hirap intindihin nung pagbiyahe mo na yun. Kung 1 year ka na nagta-travel at the speed of light, how many seconds are there in 1 year? 65 days within a year, so that's 31,536 seconds sa isang taon. So times the speed of light of 300,000 kilometers per second. Okay na mag-compute. Bahala kayo dyan. So that's very far, If you're traveling at the speed of light for 1 year, you will close to break your calculator. Okay? So yeah. So anyway, so the solar nebula hypothesis there is a birth of the star. So meron ding kamatayan yung star, no? So birth of a planet was being formed after the supernova. The supernova is the explosion of a dying star, and then afterwards, kapag namatay itong star na ito o yung isang sun, magfo-form siya ng nebulae or nebula. So magfo-form na naman ng panibagong star. So I'll see you guys next video, so as we can discuss more about our earth science, you know? So our earth science video 2. So para sa mga grade 11 STEM ng Brooks Point Christian High School, see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below present, sir. Yeah, para ma-update kayo. Alright, see you next video. Bye.